Hello everyone. So I want to read about what is a computer and what is a computer program. What is a computer? A computer is an electronic machine that processes information. In other words, an information processors that it takes in raw information or data at one end, stores it until it's ready to work on it, chews and crunches it for a bit, then spits out the result at the other end. All this process have a name. Taking in information is called input. Storing information is better known as memory or storage. Queuing information is also known as processing, and spitting out result is called output. Output. Imagine if a computer were a person. Suppose you have a friend who's really good at math. She is so good that everyone she knows posts their math problems to her. Each morning, she goes to her letterbox and finds a pile of new math problems waiting for her attention. She piles them she piles them up on her desk until she gets around to looking at them. Each afternoon, she takes letter off the top of the pile, studies the problem, work out the solution, and scribbles the answer on the back. She puts this in an envelope addressed to the person who sent her the original problem and sticks it in her out tray, ready to post. Then she moves to the next letter in the pile. You can see that your friend is working just like a computer. Her letterbox is her input, the pile on her desk is her memory, her brain is the processor that works out the solution to the problem, and the out tray on her desk is her output. Once you understand the computer are about input, memory processing, and output, all the junk on your desk makes a lot of sense. First, input. Your keyboard and mouse, for example, are just units way of getting information into your computer that it can process. If you use microphone and voice recognition software, that another form of input. Second, memory or storage. Your computer probably stores all your documents and files on a hard drive, a huge magnetic memory, but smaller computer, uh, but smaller. Computer-based devices like digital cameras and cell phones use other kind of storage, such a flash memory card. Third, processing. Your computer processors, sometimes known as the central processing unit, is a microchip buried deep inside. It works amazingly hard and get incredibly hot in the process. That's why your computer has a little fan blowing away to stop its brain from overheating. Fourth, output. Your computer probably has an LCD screen capable of displaying high resolution, very detailed graphics. and probably also stereo loudspeakers. You may have an inkjet printer or on your desk to make a more permanent from of output. Next, what is a computer program? The first computer were gigantic calculation machines, and all they ever really did was crunch numbers, solve lengthy, difficult, or tedious mathematical problems. Today, computers work on a much wider variety of problems, but they are still essentially calculations. Calculations. Everything a computer does, from helping you to edit a photograph you've taken with a digital camera, to displaying a web page, involves manipulating numbers in one way or another. Suppose you are looking at a digital photo you just taken in a paint or a photo editing program, and you decide you want a mirror image of it. In other words, flip it from left to the right. You probably know that the photo is made up of millions of individual pixels, colored square or colored squares, arranged in a grid pattern. The computer stores each pixel as a number, so taking a digital photo is really like an instant, orderly exercise in painting by numbers. To flip a digital photo, the computer simply reverses the sequence of numbers so they run from right to left instead of left to right. Or suppose you want to make the photograph brighter. All you have to do is slide the little brightness icon. The computer then works through all the pixels, increasing the brightness value for each one by, say, 10% to make the entire image brighter. So, once again, the problem boils down to numbers and calculation. What make what make a computer different from a calculator is that it can work all by itself. You just give it to you just give it your instructions called a program, and off it goes, performing a long and complex series of operations all by itself. Back in the 1970s and 1980s, if you want a home compute if you want a home computer to do almost anything at all, you had to write your own little program to do a home computer to do it. For example, before you could write a letter on computer, you had to write a program that would read the letters letters you type on the keyboard, store them in the memory, and display them on the screen. Writing the program usually took more time than doing whatever it was that you had originally want to do, writing the letter. Pretty soon, Pretty soon, people start selling programs like word processors to save you the need to write programs yourself. Today, most computer users buy, download, or share programs like Microsoft Word and Excel. Hardly hardly anyone writes programs anymore. Most people see most people see their computer as tools that help them do jobs rather than complex electronic machine they have to pre-program. And that's just as well because because most of us have better things to do than computer programming. That's all from me. Thank you for your attention.